evening, and welcome to the Feed Nightcap, the Gamescom edition. It's episode 4 for the week of August 16th, and we're in Germany.
The last episode.
Well, it is, yeah, okay. Well, it is the last, technically.
Cheers. Prost.
Yes, cheers. And it's fitting that this is the last episode of the Feed Nightcap. Well, it's called the Nightcap, so we'll talk about that later. But anyway.
Did you see that? He just cursed himself.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
I know. He tends to do that.
You didn't finish.
Fine.
You know the rumor, but well, someone else
It's
knows
the
the rumor
greatest
about that.
apple juice I've ever had.
It's fantastic.
It's
I
fantastic.
enjoy my pear cider.
We're recording this at the Dorrance Hotel. We'd like to thank them very much for allowing us to do this here.
Great guys. And the great barkeep.
We've never met them before. We've never been in here.
Oh, yeah.
And those are all Andrew's.
Definitely not the last 3
But
nights.
anyway, welcome to the Feed Nightcap Gamescom edition. This evening's cast, we're down a person, sadly, but it's okay. We killed him. Andrew Pfister, senior games editor for G4TV.
I barely survived.
And our guest, Garnett Lee, the executive producer of Whoop.com.
Who's that?
Some other guy.
Some guy.
Did I work with you once?
I think you did. Yeah, I think we did work together. Thanks for having me on, Billy. Much appreciated.
No problem. I'm Billy Bergamer, the editorial director for G4TV.com, and your host for this evening's Nightcap. So we're at Gamescom. Well, what do you think? What do you think of Gamescom so far?
Germany seems like northern Wisconsin to me.
You would know.
In August, in humid August in northern Wisconsin.
Wind that up for me. How?
It's 85 degrees, incredibly humid. Landscape, like geography is about the same. Very nice people, great German food, beer. That's
Mosquitoes?
Wisconsin.
I haven't seen any.
No, we're downtown though.
True.
You guys, you got to tell me about the blood sausage because I can't believe you guys ate this stuff. I can't believe you ate the blood sausage. That's a little over my gastronomic riskiness.
It's definitely German food, but it's a Cologne specialty, I guess. But we had dinner here the other night, and we had this 2 nights in a row. So
When in Cologne.
yeah, and blood sausage. Well, it's black pudding, as they put it on the menu. Mm-hmm. And the other thing for the Cologne plate was Braunschweiger, which you and I grew up on. It's kind of gray meat. Some people get kind of gross out. It's liver, pate, sausage. But we ordered it for that. But we also got blood sausage, and our helpful barkeep taught us how to put these sandwiches together, and it was good. Mm-hmm. I've seen it before, and I'm like, that's nasty, gross.
Okay.
I'll never touch it.
You know we can't talk about 3 games now because we just talked about liver sausage.
Well, how about this? You guys enjoy what they served up. I was enjoying what was being served up across the street at Gamescom, and that place is huge. It's like a bunch of aircraft hangars all connected together, all of them with games in
It was weird walking
They're
through there.
sort
on
of
the first
connected
press
together
day.
by very long hallways.
Well,
I mean,
there's a
at
lot of
least,
walking.
When I went to Leipzig, which is where Games Convention or Games Con used to be, it was all in one building that was in kind of a Superdome sort of thing. It was all glass housed, and it was a lot tighter together, but they outgrew that building. And plus, Leipzig was a pain in the ass to get in and out of, so that's why they moved here to Cologne, and this is the first time that they are across the street from where we are right now.
Yeah,
so.
this is definitely a super show. I mean, you take the business area where we're able to do all our meetings, plus the entertainment area, which they call, and everybody's in there playing
the
games.
public.
It's so cool to see people in there playing games. How cool is it to be able to come someplace and play Diablo 3, StarCraft 2, Need for Speed Shift, Gran Turismo 5,
Uncharted
2. It's
Heavy
like
Rain.
It's Disneyland for gamers.
It's cool. So I like the new venue. It is a little bit more spread out, but considering the fact that last year they housed 200,000 people, you need more space. That's a lot.
And there's a lot of space here.
Yeah, it's cool. And you can get around. And I really didn't, even though like today when we went to the Sony booth, it was easy to get into what you wanted to play. There were queues, there were lines, to play certain games, but for the most part, it was easy to move around, easy to navigate. You go to a show like Tokyo Game Show, on the public days, you want to die because you can't move. And plus, they'll throw elbows in.
Well, give this show a chance. Keep in mind, today is just Thursday. There's still Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with public in there, so it's going to get more and more crowded.
I think it's going to be a great show. So
the sign of it being a big show is that you had the big press conferences beforehand, and there were a ton of announcements of those. The EA show, I mean, that was kind of like the intro to the PS3 show, which was the PS3 show. I mean, don't call it the Sony press conference. It was the PS3 Slim unveiling. I mean,
well, first off, let's start with Electronic Arts.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't show a whole lot that was new. The big new thing was the EA Active, more workouts.
Dude, you know I'm excited about that. I use that.
More stretches.
Well, first of all, it's got the core finally in it, and the core stuff looked good because it had a lot of the a lot of the crunches and stuff, which will really work your abdominals. And then I like one of the things I've liked the most about that game is how well it employs good physical fitness cross training, and the cross training route they were running, that looked really smart.
The one that Peter Moore was doing?
Yeah, because they had running, so you had the good cardio, get your heartbeat up. You're laughing at me.
I'm picturing when Peter Moore was jumping in the air, and I caught him in 2 pictures, which are on G4TV.com. But
how about those shorts?
Katarina Witt was there. I wasn't even looking at Peter Moore, dude. I was looking at.
How about that Katarina Witt?
I don't know. I think that's a Billy thing.
She was staying in this hotel. We saw her at breakfast. That was pretty awesome. Hey, just saying.
I bet she does not eat any black puddings.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Which is probably why we should all be playing EA Active.
Dude, it's great. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And then finally the addition of 6-week plans, which is really important part of fitness regimen. Right now you do your 30-day thing, and then it's like, well, what do I do next? I don't know how to build a workout regimen. I mean, that's why I'm buying the damn game.
So you've done the original one?
Yeah.
You like now?
I still use it now.
Have you done Wii Fit?
No, I didn't do Wii Fit.
So why would you choose this over Wii Fit?
For me, Active is serious. Active was serious about using good physical fitness ideas and incorporating them into a regular plan. And one of the things about doing training is having that regimen and really getting into that regimen. And so watching that and having an easy way to go to your Wii and have it all categorized, it just makes an easy way to do that. I could go to a PC and have a fitness program set up, but then I have to come back and enter stuff into it. Build
Excel spreadsheet.
It's basically what it is, right? You can do it. There's online sites that do that too, but this is just right there. It programs it all for you. Away you go.
All right. So you don't go to a gym?
No, none. I'm looking all right.
Gym's overrated. You don't need a gym.
I like going to a gym.
Anything else at EA that struck your fancy? Oh, FIFA.
FIFA.
You're hype.
FIFA. We are in Germany. We are in Europe. Obviously, if you come to this show, soccer titles are a big deal here.
I walked past the Konami booth today, and I've never seen so many kiosks for a game than I saw for Pro Evo. It's like an entire half of the booth is just Pro Evo.
Oh, EA's booth is the same way. And it's packed trying to get in there. I was just trying to take a picture of the soccer section, and it was a pain in the ass. But no, I think the new FIFA looks really good. I used to be a really big Winning 11 fan, and ever since this generation of consoles started, I think Konami and the Pro Evolution team have had a really hard time catching up and moving to the next gen, or this current gen. They can't throw the resources behind that game that Electronic Arts can. And I think, not to crap on Electronic Arts, but they took a lot of what made Winning 11 really good, adapted it, and then they can make such a better presentation, visuals.
Yeah. That's not crapping on EA. That's EA doing the smart thing. Look what the competitor's doing.
It worked. We'll make it better.
Well, what made Winning 11 great was the fantastic ball physics and the way the ball moved on the pitch being correct. And that's what FIFA finally barrowed down and got on. Because originally they were all about presentation, and the play on the pitch was not that great, and people didn't like it. So then when they started adding, and that's why they're so focused now on having all the new moves, doing all the set pieces, all the new strikes.
Making all the set pieces, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So, and just the new moves, the way you can control who has the ball, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I did not get to play it at the floor because, it's a little crowded over there, but I'm looking forward to getting a build in the office. So,
yeah, and we were all out there looking forward to walking across the street and going to the Sony conference because we knew what was going to happen. At least we were like, come on, this is really going to happen, isn't it? Isn't it? And that's that was the weird part about that conference.
But they ended with the big deal, but it still started with no new game announcements.
It started with there were no new game announcements in the whole thing, which I think has to be a trade-off for TGS.
They announced at least 2 new games. Sudoku.
And Tetris. Minis. Okay. Minis. I kind of crapped on it, but the whole crowd started laughing. They announced their quick hit mini games that's going to compete with the DSi
and iPhone as well.
And iPhone as well. And they're quick hit games. They didn't say how much they're going to cost, which I'm going to guess are going to be, price. It's going to be a cheaper, probably a cheaper thing than getting a full-fledged PSN download, but not original. Everybody else is doing it. I understand why they're doing it, but
you're having the same response a lot of people have. I think this is genius. I think this is exactly what PSP Go needs. The whole idea of Go is that you have this device, you plug it into your computer to get your games off of it, and now you've got the sort of games that people are really into on their iPhone, but you can go a little bit further, get a little more hardware power, and I just think it's a great idea.
It's not so much genius as it is the next logical step.
Yeah, genius in regard of a logical step. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't innovate anything, obviously, but what they're doing is they're identifying something that people are doing and going, oh, we need to do that.
They're doing the smart thing.
Yeah, they're doing the smart thing.
Yeah, so you can get Tetris and Sudoku like you've been able to get
there
on
are
your
gonna be
cell
other
phone
games.
for like 5, 10 years.
You already have it.
Hater.
It's not for you. It's not for you.
Who is it for?
Your mom.
Me?
My
And
mom
Garnet.
is
Your
not
mom
going to
and
go and
Garnet.
buy a PSP Go.
Although I'm not
Or
buying a PSP Go, so...
Yeah. So,
She's not going to buy a lilac purple PSP?
and then they did a quick
A pink one?
with Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the little chuckles from the crowd, even though, I don't know.
Did you see that in one of the overseas regions it's packaged with Soul Calibur?
The pink one?
I think, yeah. No, the
purple
it's the
one?
lilac one. Yeah, I think it goes with Ivy or something.
That's
Yeah.
actually interesting.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway,
Those kids, the kid on the playground that has that, totally going to get his ass kicked. Just saying.
Maybe she won't.
yeah, who wouldn't buy that
You
for
know,
their son?
I was hoping to have a little bit more of the motion control stuff, but they pulled Wait Until Space World crap.
Yeah.
And
Tokyo
you got to wait
Game
until
Show.
Tokyo Game Show to see more motion control. There was the little developer update, like, we're still working on it.
Surprise.
Not much. But, hey,
It's
They had
coming.
to
They
do
said
that.
it's coming.
Look, they had to do that.
they said it was coming at E3.
Yeah, but
It's still coming.
they didn't say it was coming at Gamescom. It's coming at TGS.
Well, after that presentation at E3, which wasn't really, let's say, polished, maybe they decided they should go back to the drawing board with how they present that the next
Yeah,
time.
perhaps.
So it looked like a
Presented
sex
as a-
toy ice cream cone thing. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, but you see, that was the response we had then. But then if you go back and look at it, how we started thinking about it, what you could do with that motion control because of the fidelity of it, you're like, wait, you know what? Actually, this is really cool. They just didn't do a good job presenting it.
Well, then, obviously, the big final announcement that everybody expected to happen was the PS3 Slim.
And the price drop.
And the price drop.
Maybe more importantly, the price drop. Because I'm not so sure that the Slim is necessarily a super attractive new version of the
I
PS3
think it's kind of
aesthetically.
ugly.
And if you lay your PS3 horizontally, it doesn't even save space. It seems like it's just as big, just flatter.
It's more or less.
Have we seen it standing straight up yet?
Yeah, you
at the
should,
press
there's a bunch of
conference.
shots.
Okay.
There's a bunch of shots
That-
online.
that's
You can
where
see
I
all
would
different sizes
find the
of it.
value in it.
And it is actually physically more narrow. Also.
Is it?
Only
Yeah.
two USB ports on the front, which is fine. I mean, they're rechargeable controllers. It's not like it's an N64. So,
I'm not losing any sleep over that.
I don't know, are you going to get rid of your PS3?
I have a 60 gig original and I will never get rid of it because it
Yeah.
has backwards compatibility.
Right on.
Yeah, and I have the same thing, and I sunk a 320 gig hard drive in it. Never need a new one.
I sort of wish I had done that.
It's the
That's my
easiest
one-
thing to
I know.
do.
But I already have content on that hard drive, so I
It
don't
doesn't
need
matter. You can back it up. You take an external hard drive, you hook it up. There is a backup utility built into the PS3.
Nerds.
Seriously. Do you know your stuff? Come on. Just saying.
I don't have to put up with this.
All right, I'll steal your beer. I mean, apple juice.
So here's what's weird to me about that show. Everybody really expected to go in and see the Slim, right?
Yeah.
And so you waited all the way to the end. And I get the idea of ending on a big bang, right? Because you want to end on a big bang. But if you can end on a big bang, and that's the bang, maybe you get to it more quickly because they did show Heavy Rain, right? And how cool would it have been, because we've seen Heavy Rain, we've seen a couple of demos now, to have the PS3 Slim on the Splash instead of the old machine.
Yeah.
Well, it's true because it overshadowed everything else.
It overshadowed everything else. In that same press conference, David Cage stands up there and announces the other two characters in Heavy Rain, and that almost got forgotten, really. It got washed away because everyone was just sitting there waiting. Oh, finally.
Waiting for something they knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it was too overshadowed. Last year at Gamescom in Leipzig, they showed Heavy Rain, and that was the big showstopper, and that's why they brought David Cage back. That's why they brought Heavy Rain back.
True.
It still looks really awesome. Still one of my most anticipated games, unfortunately now is next year, but I think it looks cool. And,
It does look really cool. It does look amazing.
And we'll definitely have to. We'll come back to Heavy Rain once we get through the final press conference.
Well, they went the opposite direction. So if you were worried about being overshadowed and having other stuff in your PS3 conference, like Microsoft, let's have a press conference and have one thing in it.
It was a Peter Molyneux GDC speech, essentially.
which
Which is fine. I loved it.
which you said that you knew that it was only supposed to be.
Hold on, he loved it.
I liked Peter. I liked
Peter a lot too.
presentation.
It was a little long.
Fable 3 looks
For
great.
a game unfailing, it was a little long.
Dude, Molyneux can talk.
He can talk.
But it was all
All right.
him.
We
It was
can
all
talk.
his show. Of course he's going to talk.
But okay, so you said you knew that it was only going to be Molyneux in
Yeah,
there.
so they told us it was going to be a Molyneux thing, and I actually honestly thought it would probably be Natal. I thought it was going to be a Natal presentation.
But then they had the flags in there.
Well, right, when you walked in, that keyed it. As a matter of fact, I
looked
walked
at it,
in
I
and
was
looked at
like,
one of the guys with us, and I said,
interesting.
it's going to be Fable 3.
Yeah.
And That was about as easy to figure out as Molyneux saying, "Oh, well, of course we're going to make it."
I'm taking pictures of the crowd, for the site, and you're like, Billy, dude, and I turn around, and Molyneux's just walking. We were sitting in the front row, so it was easy to get to my seat, but he just walks up, he's like, okay, and starts. No no fanfare, no
video montage opening.
Yeah, so I don't know.
need all
But
that.
Fable 3, that was the big announcement from the press conference. Yeah. Even though he led into that with the fact that Fable 2 is going to have DLC. Chapters, episodic content.
It's not going to have DLC. It's going to be re-released as an episodic title.
No, I thought it was continuation.
No, it's Fable 2 being re-released as an episodic game.
What? Were you paying attention? Were you still drunk?
No, that's
sure?
what he was saying. I'm perfectly positive because what he said was, remember how at the beginning of the game you're learning how to be a hero? You think I'm crazy? He says, you remember how you're learning how to be a hero? And I'm going to give you that part for free. And once you get to the end of that, if you want to continue your adventure as a hero, you can buy the next chapter.
Maybe I'm crazy. I was taking pictures.
I think the whole idea behind that is that, look, we've sold 3.5 million units. There's a lot of people out there, but we want to try and reach a broad audience.
After the episodic content that they already released.
Why would he make an emphasis on it works already with the other 2 DLC packs? What he's saying is you can buy this.
Because it comes after the other 2 DLC packs?
But that would be assumed if it came after that. It's a new base. It's Fable 2 episodic.
I'm hoping I'm right, because this could be a colossal last episode of...
You want to make up your
fix it
curry?
in post.
Because, by the way, you lost your curry bet.
Yes, you are correct,
You lost your curry bet. Do you want to double or nothing?
All right, so let's talk about Fable 3.
Should gamble in the next round.
Yeah, we should.
Now.
Yeah.
Fable 3, there's not that much to talk about. I mean, there was a fair amount of...
There's a lot to talk about. That was 45 minutes of his...
There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot of Peter Fu.
I buy it. I'm buying
And
into
that's
it.
why he keeps standing up in front of people and doing it, is because people buy into it. Come on, the plans for that thing are super grandiose.
I think he can do most of it.
He's talking about Obama and how he looks tired.
But that's just like general concepts.
Right. The weight of rulership, you're going to try and express the weight of rulership in a video game that has you playing a hero that's still going to be fun to play on a moment-to-moment basis.
I don't think he wants it necessarily to be fun to play 100% of the time.
I don't want to play a game that's not fun to play. Sorry.
So you don't think games can be interesting and
I think they
make
can
you
be
think
terribly
without
interesting.
being fun?
No, I think they can be. I'm just saying that if they get too far...
What about movies or books that are super depressing?
So sort of my concern here is that Peter's been really successful with 3,
Yeah.
right?
Magic.
So I think that potentially that the locks are off a little bit, and he's going to go back down that, I'm going to do all this stuff.
But now he's got a lot of experience from the first 2 games. It's not like he's starting from scratch with this one.
Yeah, but I would
he's been building up to it.
I would submit he'd had a lot of experience all along. He's been making games a long time.
Yeah, but specifically with
I
Fable.
love Molyneux, but it is true. He does promise a lot when he announces a game, and then bit by bit.
The stuff about
bit,
the global politics and the weight of power I buy into. The stuff about the expressive touch and dynamic touch, maybe not quite as much, because it sounds like Milo Light.
I'm pulling this child back from the fire,
Yeah.
and then a beam falls, and I clutch him close to my breast and console
you
him.
kinda lost me with that.
You were totally sold, and so was I. I think everybody
yeah.
else in the room was that means there's going to be Natalia
Yeah,
using
because when he was
Fable 3.
talking about it, he didn't mention that you were using a controller, and he was acting it out on stage while he was talking about
Dude,
it.
he's
So
all
it's
over the place.
Yeah.
I know. Well, we interviewed him today, and he was like, no, I know, everybody thinks it's Natal-based, and it's not.
I don't buy it.
It's not as of right now.
Yes.
I'll buy that. That I'll buy.
How crazy would that be? He's always known to announce a whole bunch of crap and then pull it out, and now he's saying, no, it's not in there, and he puts it in. I like it. It'd be cool.
I liked Fable 1 a lot and finished it. I got halfway into Fable 2, and I think that
Is there a hot girl back there or something?
there were a couple of
Looking
them.
over at my shoulder.
I'm just
Me?
looking at you,
No,
honey.
you are.
I'm looking at you. You're cute.
It's one more game we can't talk about.
Thanks.
I think that I got sidetracked by the amount of offshoot paths and stuff like buying a house and renting it out to people and all that kind of stuff. And
I got caught up in the real estate market in that game. I wanted to own everything, especially in the market right away, so I could jack up prices.
so did you finish the game?
No, I got about halfway through. I got distracted by other things, but it's not like a knock against the game. I definitely want to go back to it now.
I'm not knocking a game. This is my personal taste. I really enjoy an RPG that has a really strong narrative. I really like the narrative. I want to be into the character enough that I'm playing and feeling the character, and then I lost that partway through.
Well, at least another thing that they're bringing into this game is the fact that your save game will transfer over some stuff to Fable 3. Another game for the 360 that's doing that. I think
New
it's
hotness, carry forward.
It's awesome. So anyway, so that was the press announcements, and then we had the show. And we've only had one public day. There was one press day. Obviously, we're doing a lot of interviews, so we didn't get to play that much, but we still saw a lot of games.
Should we start with like the other like secondary press conference with Konami and your favorite game of the show? Probably, I'm guessing. Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker.
Oh, I heard I need to see this trailer. I heard it's fantastic.
The trailer was awesome, and I am a huge Metal Gear fan, and I'd say out of the 4 games, 4 still wins my heart the most, but 3 on the PS2 was obvious. 3 was amazing.
3 is my favorite
and
too.
this
That's
is a
why I'm so
sequel
excited about
to
this.
3
Yeah.
on the PSP, even though I would rather have like a full-fledged release.
This is a full-fledged release.
It is.
That's what
It
they
is,
said all
but
along.
I want like on a
You want
console.
an
I want it on my
HD
TV.
on your giant
I want it
television.
1080p and all that.
You want a sore neck.
Just plug your
I want
video
a
adapter
pony.
into your PSP.
And I want, I want. But anyway, it's
nice to
PSP
want things.
Yeah, isn't it? Anyway,
I'm just working with you sometimes. sometimes,
anywho, I want it all. But anyway, it looks fantastic, and it's co-op, and that's what this trailer focuses on.
4-player, right?
4-player co-op. At least that's what they said. They only showed 2-player co-op in action. Well, there was part of the trailer that's questionable, but
You mean the box? That was the part that was questionable, right?
yeah, we're not gonna. We'll get to
Like
the box.
who's who?
No. They showed mainly 2 players, and they have the same circular reticule up around each character, and then there's a giant circle around the 2 of them. We don't know what that means, but at least the other 2 are the circulars, the warning stuff from MGS4. It seems like Portable Ops mixed with MGS4, like at least the action stuff. There's third-person over-the-shoulder targeting and things like that. You can point out. So, like, say you and I are playing, I can tag an enemy and say, "Hey, that's our next target."
So it's like the SOP system, like the precursor to the SOP system.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting, and the trailer I thought was quite funny, even though a lot of people weren't laughing. So, I don't know. That could be my game
love
of the
this
show,
place.
even though it's not hands on yet. That's another wait until Space World. It's looking like Tokyo Game Show. It's going to be playable, so I can't wait. So, but you saw The Old Republic.
I saw The Old Republic. It's probably my favorite game of the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Galaxies came out? We were all like, oh my god, how do you take the most perfect idea for an MMO and miss by so much?
Because everyone wants to be a Jedi. They didn't let everyone be a Jedi. They let other people be dancers and like farmers.
So, Mr. Fister, can I be a Jedi in this?
Yeah, you can be a Sith warrior.
I'm a nice guy.
You can be a smuggler. You're kind of a rogue.
What?
A bit of a rogue.
A nice guy?
No, you are a nice guy.
I'm a nice guy.
So
nice guy.
they
Might
showed
be a
us
rogue.
the bounty hunter, the smuggler, and the Sith warrior. Now that I think about it, they showed us all like the dick characters. I'm sorry, the jerk characters.
That's what's
in the
popular.
game. Yeah,
Those guys are
So,
popular.
yeah. I as a former World of Warcraft player,
stopped?
I canceled my. I didn't cancel because you can't
Quitter.
cancel it. You can never cancel it.
Quitter.
I stopped paying for my account.
Quitters. Anyway,
I'm not quite as impressed.
but you
second
said
time
you
I've
said it was
stopped
really,
paying for my
really
account.
action packed.
It's very action packed, and at the end of the live demo they did, they're like, some people are complaining about, I don't want this game because I kind of want KOTOR 3. And they're like, well, to that we say, that you are getting KOTOR 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, all in one package. I'm like,
If they can pull off half of the drama in their cinematic trailers, they have a winner.
yeah.
I mean, really, the trailers they've done are like, really, this is what the prequel should have been.
Yeah, but the trailers are completely different art style from the actual game. It's like the game.
They're cinematic, but I mean, once you're in the game, you do have like the same clothes and the same city.
Yeah,
and
it's like the same
yeah.
same era, but it's like a more cartoony take on that cinematic trailer we've been seeing. So, anyways, the way the game plays is very action based. It's very fast, especially with the Sith Warrior, which is what we played with, and it's just like bouncing around from enemy to enemy, just kind of like almost like too human, kind of. It's that kind of fast pace. You're fighting multiple enemies at a time. You can fight multiple enemies at a time.
The good part of too human.
Yeah. Yeah, just bouncing from enemy to enemy and enemy, and all the cooldowns so far are like just really super quick. Wow. You have an out of combat heal for every class.
Wow.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's lowercase wow.
Yeah.
Yes, lowercase.
Every class has an out of combat heal. It's like a 6-second cooldown, so it keeps the pace just keep going fast and fast and fast.
Now, a game that I'm actually surprised is making kind of a big showing here is a game that I haven't seen yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow. And you said that looked really awesome. Was Final Fantasy 13.
Oh my God, Billy. Anyone that's a Final Fantasy 13 fan, when you get to see the demo that they showed us today, is going to just go nuts. New summon, Odin, and one thing they reveal.
Odin's in the game? What? Really?
Bahamut?
Dude, I told you I was going to spoil this for you because it's so incredibly awesome. So what they revealed is how the Gestalt system works, which is the second stage of your summons. And what happens is you bring your summon in, and then they can transform. When they transform, the character then joins with them in different ways to have partner attacks. So in the case of Lightning, she summons Odin. Odin then turns into the steed form of Odin. She mounts, has these 2 sickle blades that she puts on, which are just awesome. And the game becomes an action game. You drive with the sticks, you use buttons to launch your combos, and just become a complete badass. It was awesome. This is an RPG show because you got that, and then you got Diablo 3.
And you already played Diablo 3, which, now we're spoiling BlizzCon, which starts
now.
Pretty much that's going on right now in the States.
Man. Everyone's going to be so excited about that because it is, I don't know. There were some people who were already saying, oh, it looks like it's Act 2 from Diablo 2. Yeah, don't cry about that. It looks like Diablo, which is what's great.
It's
because
Diablo.
You wanted it. You have to walk this weird line with a game like that, right? Where you want the game to be the game that you hoped for, but you want it to take the next step forward. And so they have shown the refinement in the skill trees. They're set up like World of Warcraft skill trees now, 3 tiers, top to bottom, easy to figure out with icons, and the oh my God, it's beautiful.
Okay, beautiful I'm going tomorrow morning. Seriously.
You have appointments.
I was there playing that till they kicked me out, and that was on business day.
All right, the one game that I saw that you guys did not see was Mafia 2. And I know I brought that up and you're like, really? And Mafia 2, very, very impressive.
I saw it at E3. What did they show this time?
They showed a side mission where it's all stealth. So they show the stealth mechanic. It's not Metal Gear stealth. It's supposed to be really easy stealth. I mean, not like, I don't know, just control-wise. It's not supposed to be as intricate as, creeping around in a Metal Gear level. So you had to blow up a bunch of cars, but visually, I don't know, did you play The Godfather? Godfather 2? Okay, anyway.
Godfather. How about Heavy Rain?
Yeah.
Before we run out of time on this show, I think we should cover Heavy Rain.
We might go over a little bit. It is the last Nightcap.
Well, okay. If we want to save Heavy Rain for last, we can
save
it.
Finale. The big show. But,
it is a good show.
All right, Heavy Rain, both you and I are
going to do that, or
I
could do DJ Hero. Because we got the DJ Hero, too. We got to talk about the DJ Hero.
We'll talk about both. Okay, start with DJ Hero.
Okay, so I love that sort of music, and I've been super psyched to play DJ Hero, and I finally started to play DJ Hero, and my brain went, and just froze.
I saw that demo, too, and they asked for volunteers to play it, and I saw them after they did, the expert run-through, I saw it, and no, I'm not going to embarrass myself. My brain cannot handle this.
So I was trying to explain this. You have to do 2 things with your hands independently. It's like the first.
Well,
you've ever played
before
piano,
you get started,
it's playing piano.
Guitar Hero is the same thing. But
what you're doing in Guitar Hero is just strumming here, right? Well, I guess here you could say you're just moving back and forth on lines, but man, it is.
I get your point, though, and
it is tough to follow. And plus, you have to if you want to use the effects wheel, you have to do that. So the other thing is, you have to even think about how to put your hand on this thing. Because when I was first playing it, I put my fingers down on the buttons and was doing like this. So if you're doing a real record, it doesn't matter where the turntable is, right?
Yeah.
This turntable has 3 buttons that if your fingers are not on, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is put your thumb on the side of the wheel and hold it firm so that your fingers stay in the right spot, right? You follow what I'm saying? So you have to do that.
They will now.
You have to do that and anchor it and do this. And then you have the slider where...
See, the crossfader is what threw me. And it threw the guy who volunteered, the poor soul who volunteered.
It doesn't have enough notch in the center. It's hard to... You're coming back to the center, and it doesn't stick enough. Especially when you're in a hurry and you're
kept overcorrecting. And
so how long did you try to play it, and did you eventually figure it out?
I'm going to try to play it tomorrow, but...
Play at least 2 songs, because the first song you'll be like... And the second song you'll start to figure out...
I'm going to run through the tutorial. Yeah. But it's I don't know.
But the harder part, and this was the other part I wanted to tell you about, is that when you break the song, the problem with breaking the song is that then you have to think about it to figure out where you messed up, and it's really hard to put that back together. So I'm hopeful that with time to play it,
There
I
is
can
no
really
fail
figure it out.
mode in like all difficulty levels. They said no fail mode. You can't fail. It's just like a high score based
Good
game.
decision.
Yeah, because people would be failing. I think they failed easy. It's like I can't do this.
Yeah, and that kind of defeats the party.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about Heavy Rain because both you and I saw the demo, and or at least the behind closed doors thing, and
David Cage is a genius.
it's still.
How is he a genius? I'm not challenging
now,
you.
this
I
is
would like to know.
this was interesting because this demo didn't show anything crazy. It wasn't like the crazy sequence they showed in the first demo. It wasn't. Was it Mad Jack in the second thing where there's a big fight?
Mm-hmm.
It was about the new character that they showed, the last character, taking care of his son in his house.
His surviving son.
His surviving son. So he's depressed. The son and him are not really communicating well. The son's like not responding to any advances. The father's trying to be like a father, but you cook him dinner, you watch him do his homework, and you put him to bed. And you're kind of like, oh really? But there's so
the
many
tension. It gets thick.
But yeah, because he's depressed. Like his son's like, I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. I want to watch cartoons. And he goes upstairs and watches an old video with the two sons together because his other son was killed. Starts crying. He's very depressed. It's moving. It's honestly moving. But then they showed a different.
It's different than a movie.
No, I said moving. Like I felt moved. I mean, the guy's depressed. It's sad, And but then they showed different things that could happen if you didn't watch. Tell your kid to do his homework, or weren't nice to him, or weren't talking to him. He'd get all pissed off, like I hate you, Dad. And they really did that stuff, and they showed that. And then they showed the initial trailer that they showed at the press conference, where it was him, the father, and the two kids, and his wife, who he's now divorced with now because his whole world has crumbled. And they showed him happy in a totally different house that's really nice, and the contrast between that and what happens 2 years later in the demo that we saw, I don't know, it was amazing. And it still falls back on the premise, how far would you go to save the one you love? And it kills me. Maybe it's because I'm an emotional sucker and I love that sort of stuff and I'm a cheesy guy, but I don't know, man. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Me too. And I'd say, to answer your question about genius, he's genius because he's taken the time to dissect for himself what game mechanics have left him dry on games and how to make a moving experience and still have it be a game. And that's a huge leap that I don't think there are many people who could do right now.
I just love how it seems how this game is like a very personal experience for him. The way he described in the press conference, how he and his wife lost track of their kid for 10 minutes, and then it just triggered this whole entire character in a game.
I hope they don't show anything more. I really don't want to know anything more
until it happens.
I want to have this game in my hands and try it out. So, obviously, we have more games that we wanted to talk about.
Uncharted 2.
Oh God,
still awesome.
But the same demo that we saw a long time ago, playable. But you saw more. And you can find out more on G4TV.com.
Ice Cave, puzzles, gears.
This has been a really personal experience for me.
Has it?
Yeah.
Has it moved you? I kind of wikied on your. I won't ever do that again.
You can't use that language.
That is going to be a GAF icon right there, right?
I hope not. Anyway,
you're doomed.
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh yeah, dude. Thanks for having me. It's a blast.
TheFeed Nightcap. The games competition has now come to a close. So you will be able to... Oh, and next week we'll have an all-new name. We need suggestions for names. You're saying I'll be using...
what about a German name?
Send me...
Something in German.
Yeah, well, maybe. If you like a German name or something else, send me a direct message on Twitter.
In the style of Köln.
Okay. Send me a direct message at Louis the Cat. And maybe your idea could help us because we need some creativity after this show. It's been a crazy show.
I can't think anymore.
Yeah,
I can only drink.
So I guess that'll close the Nightcap Prost Games competition. So
thanks very much.
Thanks for watching, and it's almost Friday. Have a good weekend.